Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC Born Rob Erasing Borders. I'm DC Rob. Looks like I'm going to be doing some lives from now on because the subject matter is at hand, and that is safety. Tonight, I have BLB going to join me in about 10 minutes. I got a little bit of housekeeping to do first, so thank you for everybody who is joining me. I did a live a few days ago, and I missed the first hour. It was just a few brothers sitting around the table talking. So if somebody can throw up some ones in the comment section, Tech Geek, John Irish. Oh, now this dude right here, look. Okay, let's blast this dude out. Okay, we're gonna address this. So since you're here, fake news, we're gonna address this asshole. Okay, Bobby Contreras, can somebody throw up some ones in the comment section so I know that I am actually, boom. There you go. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's since oh boy just popped up, I'm going to address this right off the bat. Everybody knows the scammer from Medellin, Colombia, or anybody who's been watching me. Appreciate it, Tech Geek, Andre, Adric, appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for the ones. Anyway, if you've been watching me for any period of time, then you know I've done maybe 3, 4, 5 videos on a scammer. I'm getting this guy in my social media telling me that it's him, and it's not him. It's a picture of him. And this asshole's got some, and I'm going to call him that because that's what it pisses me off, man. One thing about me is I hate to be accused of something I didn't do. And I hate for other people to be accused of something they didn't do. Hence the reason I've helped a couple people. But this asshole right here, let's blow him out. Where's his name? John Irish. You know what? Hey, John Irish, you want to join us right now? Well, I can't send you a link because I want to hear this crap from you. Somebody, he looks like the scammer and somebody sent it to him. And he's been flooding my DMs on social media and in emails, which I blocked him on here like a couple of days ago. I just got fed up with it. I'm just done with it. Talking about he's going to call a lawyer on me or some crap like that. I got lawyers there too, dude. Anyway, I don't even want to bother with it, but I'm just going to take him out now before I get too hyped up because that's not what this show is about. But if he wants to start some trouble, then we can. I don't run from it. And he said he's got a business there. So I'll let you guys know about his business and who this asshole is. You just pissed me off, man. Don't accuse me of something. He's saying that somebody told him that I said he was a scammer. I'm like, well, send me what video you're talking about. Who are you? I have no idea who you are. Just sending me this crap. So I'm going to give you one chance to say something. Go ahead and speak up because I'm going to let you comment right quick. I got all my ones. Appreciate you guys. Passport privilege. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Mood Dog, and let me show you who this guy is right here. Fake news. Like I'm reading stories from Colombia, but I'm putting up fake news. Man, not much pisses me off. I'm living a peaceful life. I'm getting ready to go on vacation and have a good old time. New comments. Comment, asshole. Speak up before I get you out of here. Because let's be done with this. Because if you pop up again one more time, let's just be done with it. So, and I'm sorry to delay this any longer than I have to, but because I got stuff I need to address. I got some housekeeping. So 3, 2, you're not going to say anything? Okay. Goodbye. Okay, let's do this. First of all, I've asked you guys for a lot of things, and you guys have reached out from help with the reps for the Stevenson brothers, for help with the reps for Timothy Reed and their family. Remember, there's always a family behind all of the tragedy. There's always a family. It's not just you. It's not just that one guy. So you guys have always stepped up. I asked somebody, 2 weeks ago about insurance and travelers insurance. Chris stepped up, one of my viewers. Man, you guys are awesome. Also, you guys have been asking me for some time now, how do you get things shipped to Medellin, Colombia, and throughout Central and South America? And so I, at the end of yesterday's video, I told you guys, and the day before also, CaribbeanShipper.com is who you should be using. It is Black Friday, this Friday. It's Cyber Monday coming up Monday. You want to get your stuff from Amazon. You want to get it in a timely fashion. They give you a free mailbox here in the United States, and then you send it back. But he's actually got a little white, not white page, what do you call it? Whiteboard animation that I want to show you right quick, and then I'll meet you on the other side. I need to give you some updates on a few things.
Attention expats. Although moving abroad may have been the best decision you've ever made, you might still need to get some things from home. Whether you're shopping online, getting packages from a loved one, or just need your mail from the post office, CaribbeanShipper.com makes it simple. Register today for a Caribbean Shipper U.S. mailbox account, the #1 most referred package shipping service for expats throughout all of Latin America. With your Caribbean Shipper account, you can shop online or safely and quickly have your mail from home delivered to your door throughout all parts of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, and Mexico. We handle everything from receiving, consolidation, customs clearing, and delivery. We keep it simple. Here's how it works. First, go to our website, www.caribbeanshipper.com, and register. It's a simple form asking for your name, delivery address, email, and phone number. Once completed, you're all set. You now have your own U.S. mailbox to send your online orders to and also receive and forward your mail. Your online orders or mail will now be shipped to our Miami facility where it will be received, consolidated, then delivered to you throughout Latin America. When using your mailbox address, please remember, proper package labeling is important. So when asked for your ship to address, make sure your package shipping label reads as shown. Your name, Caribbean Shipper below, then our Miami address, 7864 Northwest 62nd Street, Miami, Florida 33166. When a package arrives for you at our facility, customer service will send you an email notification with all the package details so you'll know exactly what has arrived for you, then place it on hold pending other packages to consolidate on your shipping instructions. If mail has arrived, we will hold your mail, then ship to you consolidated with your packages, or you can enroll in our email scanning service where mail is opened, scanned, and emailed to you. Every shipment is insured and tracking available on our website. All clearing, duty, and import taxes are prepaid, so upon delivery, there is never any payment due at the door, just a signature for our delivery driver upon receipt. So if you're a frequent Amazon shopper or need your mail or personal items from home, go with the company most referred by expats throughout Latin America and the Caribbean, CaribbeanShipper.com. We make it simple.
So there you go. Now you know you can have things shipped to Medellin, Colombia, or anywhere in Colombia or Central and South America. I always wondered about it. Now we know. CaribbeanShipper.com. Christmas is coming up. Get it done. Updates on the Timothy Reed case. There are none. I went back and forth with the ex-wife, I guess, a few weeks ago, and I need to reach out to her again to see if there's been any changes. It has to do with the legal effects, the legal part of it for the property now. Nothing has moved forward on the criminal case. If you're not sure about or not familiar with the Timothy Reed case from April 20th, 2.5 years ago, go look at those videos. There's a lot to unpack there. Also, the Stevenson brothers. I am waiting for information from the dad. I reached out to him. Somebody reached out to me. You guys are always reaching out to me, so I appreciate that follow-up and concern, because you guys did, a bunch of you guys did reach out to the reps when they asked for this. And when I ask you guys to reach out on their behalf. So I'm waiting to hear back from the dad. Let's just continue to pray. Hopefully this is good news. I need some good news in my life right now. I'm traveling to Guatemala. That's some good news. So I'm leaving in 2 days. And I got my new passport, baby. Look, and this thing looks sharp too. It's like a little plastic. The picture part is a little hard plastic. So it's pretty cool. Also, Gregory Stewart Owens, the gentleman that lost his life in Cartagena a few weeks ago. I've reached out. Well, I've gone back and forth with his son. He actually got to face the criminals face to face on CCTV, actually dial in. So he and a bunch of other family and friends and attorneys can reach in. He can actually see these guys sitting at the table. It looks like if they had pled guilty to all the charges and the murder, they would have gotten between 15 and 25 years, but they refused to admit to the murder. They admit to everything else, even though this is all on camera, but they're going to end up taking it to trial where they're going to face up to 33 years. So we can only pray that they get that and a little bit of street. Well, how about a whole lot of street justice too? Anyway, again, my heart goes out to the family, prayers and good vibes. And I'm sure from all my viewers, which you have sent love. Let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of people that have fallen. And again, I communicate with the families and you don't see that part, but the outpouring of love for this gentleman was there. He was a neighbor, co-worker, family member. So there was a lot of love shown for this gentleman. So continue to keep this family in your prayer, as well as everybody else who has lost their lives. Okay, you're going to, I've heard a lot about Costa Rica. I've had somebody reach out to me from Costa Rica to tell me that it's not all rosy. There's actually scopolamine there too. So if you're thinking of jumping off there to get away from the scoping, then the scoping is there too. Not only that, I asked for some backup documentation, some videos, some news videos about what's actually going down there so I can do research. And I have, again, my researcher helping me out. Says, yeah, we need to find out more information. And you know, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm going to jump on another story, or even with the brothers or Timothy Reed. I'm not sure where it's going to take me until something just clicks and that I'm meant to jump on this. And the reason I'm setting this up is because she sent me a whole bunch of news programs, or he sent me a whole bunch of news programs that had exactly what's been going on. Evidently, the I don't know if they're cartels or the gangs are coming in, drugs are coming in, and now there's fights because of that. So a lot of Sicario hits. But anyway, one stood out to me because the second one that he sent me, I saw this story right here.
She was killed while celebrating her birthday in Costa Rica, and now her Tampa family is suing the vacation rental giant where it happened, Airbnb. As News Channel 8's Corey Davis explains, the victim's family is pushing for change around the world.
Carla Stefaniak's family will never see her smiling face again. Missing for a week shortly after Thanksgiving in Costa Rica, found murdered after renting a villa through Airbnb.
So sad that it happened to be my sister in this situation.
Stefaniak's brothers and family who live in Tampa now turning to well-known attorney Jack Gordon.
We are very hopeful that by prosecuting this action, it will force Airbnb to take greater action to protect its customers.
Gordon says the security guard accused of murdering Stefaniak was in the country illegally.
He was provided a uniform, giving him the cloak of authority. He was given unfettered discretion to go anywhere he wanted within the premises, and he shouldn't have been there.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. The reason that this story stood out to me is I stayed at that Airbnb. I stayed at that very Airbnb. I was looking at it because I'm looking for Airbnbs now for Guatemala. I'm already half booked, but I was going to do a video. I've already done a couple on how I book my Airbnbs and how I go through the process for those who are not familiar with Airbnb and not sure if they want to use it. And I looked at that one to say that I was going to show that video of that Airbnb to show you that this is the best view I've ever had. I've been all around the world. I mean, picture it from Paris to Croatia, that was crazy, to Amsterdam, to Iceland, to Dublin. I mean, I've been in Airbnbs all around the world. Let me tell you something. This one had the best view, but that's the same Airbnbs. I think it was almost 100 Airbnbs I've been in. It's somewhere around 100. That Airbnb, there's got to be, I don't know how many hundreds of Airbnbs in God, where am I talking about now? In Costa Rica. And go figure, that's the same Airbnb that I had stayed at. So now I know I need to jump on this story a little bit more. And we're going to bring BLB on in a minute. I see you in the background, sir. Let's start this up because I know everybody wants to go to Medellin, first of all. Then we're going to hear the facts from an expat, BLB, brown liquor burn in 1 minute.
It's a new day and I cannot wait to see the new update of DC Rob on YouTube. His channel is so amazing and fun to watch, gives information about the country, and you always stay updated. I can't wait to go watch his channel.
You try hard to find the answer when no one knows how it feels between disasters. It comes and goes. The life of dreams is moving faster, and no one knows the constant fear of what comes after. We'll never know. It's weighing me down. Got my feet on the ground. They fly away from the lights. They run away from the light.
Some of you guys may think I'm crazy, but I still love Medellin Colombia. But again, I'm not out there at 3 o'clock in the morning doing you know what. Brown Liquor Burn, what's going on, brother?
How you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic, man. Best day of my life. I'm above ground, man.
Yeah, that's always a blessing. It's always a
Absolutely.
blessing.
So let's Brown Liquor Burn, BLB, tell them who you are. If you don't remember, we did a video before we did an interview because I got by an actual interview that I did. I brought on a viewer that had a story. If you go back and look, I forgot what the video was titled Crazy Colombian Girl Goes Crazy or Crazy Venezuelan Girl Goes Crazy, and had a video of it starting. And then the next day I found out, well, shoot, that night I started getting hits saying, man, that's the girl from Check's video. So I reached out to Check. And long story short is BLB straightened it out. And let me tell you something. He asked questions that I didn't. I more so let him tell his story. And you got to it. I watched it earlier too, when you had Check on and her. And you said, you know, I ain't saying who's this. There's her story, his story, and the truth in the middle. So I appreciate what you do. You're interviewing, man. I think you said you're a journalist. We're all journalists. I'm a journalist, but you did your question and answer session properly, brother. Real good, man. Real good work. So you are here to tell us what's going on in Medellin, Colombia, man. It's your show. Tell these brothers what's going on.
Well, I think first and foremost that we need to understand that we're traveling to third world countries. There is no welfare system in these countries. If they don't make anything, they don't eat. So I think that should give people a basic understanding of the dangers that can present themselves when traveling. For the short timers, there's different types of information I can give for the short timers versus the expats that actually live there. If you talk to some of the expats that live there, they've um, created somewhat of a niche ecosystem for themselves in which they're integrated with the people of the country that they're visiting. They know people, doctors, lawyers, policemen, local store vendors. So they kind of got an understanding. If you think about it, the percentages, and I remember you did a show a couple of shows back about the numbers. A lot of the people that are having these issues, there's probably 30% expats that live there and 70% to your weekend warriors or your short-term travelers. And my take on this is that there's a lot of information that can be consumed. The same videos that people watch to give them the motivation to travel to these places, they should also search about, is this place dangerous? Or what to watch out for in these certain places. There's beautiful work that's been done by responsible YouTubers that have brought that information out, such as myself. And so for the short timers, do your thing. Get your tour guide. Understand where you're at. Understand you're not at home. It's funny because people will have rules for people visiting their neighborhoods in the United States or wherever they're from. But for some reason, once they get on the plane, that goes out the window for themselves. And so, you know, dealing with people that you don't know, you always take the extra measure, because the moment that you don't is the moment that you'll return home in a bag. And this is where we're at right now. These people are starving. These governments make decisions every day that affect these people, and they are starving. It may not look like that. Colombian people are some of the nicest people in the world. It reminds me of what they say about California. Remember, California is a nice laid back place, but things can really get cooking in California. And Colombia is the same exact way. They're very nice, very hospitable, very, 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 I guess, catering to people. They go out of their way to do things to people, but people take that as it's comfort to them. And you can never be comfortable outside of your residence, I guess. And this is what's happening. I talk to various people because I've built my own ecosystem there. I talk to various people from all levels, police to people from the streets to women, and this problem is not going to go away. This problem, these people are hurting, and the people in these neighborhoods, thought that they're cartel related. The cartel doesn't have time to be robbing people. The cartel got their minds on other things. And if you are in the cartel, you're not wanting to rob anybody. You're fine. It's the people in the neighborhoods that that doesn't have a job. It's the kid that's 21 years old, has a kid to look at, and his kid doesn't have milk to drink, or doesn't have Pampers to put on, or don't have food on their table. And so what I would do, just like everybody else that hears my voice tonight, if there's no system in place and I don't have a job, I'm going to look for somebody, and I'm going to get what I need from them for the survival of my family. And people need to understand that. People really need to understand that. I think it can't be undersold. It needs to be driven home that these people are hungry and they will be in your pockets. And if you don't give it up in the manner that you should, like you said, how to get robbed, then you're going to have some consequences after that, and they may be fatal.
Mm-hmm. You need to be prepared. We talked about this yesterday, and one thing I brought up is that you guys have to remember, you're not at home. You're not in your home. You can't act the same as you do in the States, even though you party and you may throw dollars in the in the strip club and making it rain in the U.S. You should not be doing that. You don't know where you are. You are not home. You cannot get home. Like I said the other night, I mean, unless you know the people at the club that'll escort you through the back door to an armed car that's going to take you straight to the airport. Other than that, you ain't getting home. So you got to respect where you are and respect the girls too. Even if you're going to do what you're going to do off the street, which I don't get anyway, because there's places you can go. But even if you're going to do that, respect the girls, because all it takes is pissing one of them off. And it don't take much to make somebody disappear. That's a term, disappeared. So you got to respect the people that you're where you're going, and do due diligence and be ready when you go. One thing I noticed from watching your video when you had Genesis on is you were interpreting, which means you speak Spanish. What are your thoughts on guys going down that cannot speak Spanish, or they want to move there and still that have been there 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, and still don't speak any Spanish? What do you think about that?
I remember going back to when I used to travel to Dominican Republic, and it was always anybody from the States that is black or white that doesn't speak the language would always be accompanied by somebody. You'll meet a friend at work or somebody from the neighborhood and say, "Hey, come to my house. Oh, let's go. Let's book the ticket." That's a native Spanish speaker with you. But you got people frequenting these places till they get to the point where they're not with anybody. They're moving around on their own, and they still don't speak the language. Pay attention, guys, because this is very important. If I am riding on a moto, which is a bike, with another guy from my neighborhood, and we're hurting, and I see you with that phone out with a translator, I'm circling the block again. Colombians are, I think they probably invented the motorbike assassinations. So from a group of people that have invented this and understand the ins and out of how to move, know their city, know how to get away, and they start watching you. Remember, Colombians start watching you when you leave the airport. They watch you forever. Some people watch you for nefarious reasons. Some people just watch you because some of them are sick of you coming to their country. Some of them watch you because some of them are enamored. They're people watchers. They're probably the best people watchers, right? And so you get you get a guy that doesn't speak the language, translating on his phone to his chica, right? In the middle of the street. You're a target. You're a target. You're the easiest target that I can find the whole night. So I'm miles away from my neighborhood. I'm in Poblado. I'm in Laureles because I know you guys are there. And it's just fish in a barrel for me. I can do whatever I want. Get back on the highway and then go home. And so I think that when you start traveling to these countries, frequenting these countries, you should try your best to learn the basic language. Look, it takes 45 minutes a day, maybe even a half hour a day, to get an app on your phone to start practicing those languages, to be able to communicate, not only for your safety, but for your health. If you go into a hospital and you don't know how to communicate and there's nobody on staff that speaks the language, what are you going to do if you're incapacitated and can't talk? You have limited words to say. What are you going to do? So, I mean, I'm not saying that everybody has to learn the language, but if you're going to frequent a place, it would be in your best interest, specifically Colombia, to learn the language, because there's things that you can hear that people are saying to you that would say, okay, maybe I need to get up out of here. But if you don't know and you think it's all smiles, because the Colombian folk, look, they're not big people. They're not big people. The guy that would probably kill you is skinny, small, has a weird haircut, and you would think nothing of him. In a physical confrontation, you'd probably win that 10 times out of 10. But that's not how they roll. That guy will take your life for a cell phone, for this. So please, if you can, Babbel, there's tons of apps. There are people that we can recommend that can do online courses with you. If you really love this place and you want to frequent this place, that you can learn the language. It is important to learn something or have somebody with you that you trust that can speak both languages back for you and the other people.
Mm-hmm. Duolingo is a good one. It's on your phone. It will remind you, even when you don't want to be reminded, this, but learn the basics. Hell, I have a few videos on opposites, on basic things. Again, if you can't say cajero automático, and thanks to everybody who answered the question the other night, can you even say help me? And a bunch of you guys know how to say help me. But if you can't say help me, okay, I don't recommend going or not going. I say I'll still go. But if you can't say help me, then maybe it's not for you. In any country, in any language, if you can't say help me, then you got to help me get home, help me find an ATM machine, help me pay this bill, help me count this out. I mean, if you can't say help me to your front desk agent, then, I mean, we got problems, because again, like BLB said, there's plenty of language apps on your phone. The more you get out there with that cell phone and you're using that again, and even more importantly than that, I mean, there was a murder in Poblado in Provenza, 2 weeks ago, where the guy, and you know which one I'm talking about, the guy was talking to the girl at the table. As soon as they were done eating, he doesn't know what she's saying. He has no idea what she's saying. She could be talking on the phone, or you don't know what she's texting, because if you can't speak it, you surely can't read it. And she's like, yeah, we getting ready. I'm not saying the girl did this, but she could very well be saying, yeah, we're done eating and we on Calle Diaz and Carrera 43rd, whatever. She can actually pinpoint you, and they ride around, they look on the back, and just like the guy who got popped in the eye the other night, I got to watch my words, man. They flagged me again on my last live. I don't get it. I don't get how they know. I mean, I know they're listening, but yeah. Anyway, that guy was not prepared if he's using an app. I'm not saying that, I don't know if he spoke Spanish or not, but if somebody's on the phone, the girl's always on the phone. You don't know who she's communicating with, because like BLB said, somebody's always watching you. I've said these things over and over again. I wanted BLB to get on to reiterate from an expat's point of view, because, and I'm going to bring in, you heard David Dodd earlier, who did a good interview with me. And for everybody who says that I'm negative and I'm gone negative over the past few weeks, is because it's been a negative few weeks, and I'm just reading the news. It is what it is. But remember, I got another 900 and something videos. So until you watch all those videos, you really can't, say I'm all one way without looking at those videos. Because if I put out a video on language, I get 200 people to watch it,
Rob, I'll add to this. On WhatsApp, there's a way that you send your location. It takes all of 3 seconds to boop, boop, boop. If you're in a situation with that, where I think what that happened was they knew that she was going out with this guy, and she sent the location when she got there. For me, when I'm outside and if I'm dealing with a female and she's on her phone, dinner's over. Like if you're on your phone all night, then you're not here. If you can't you're not going to just take her phone away from her, because then you're going to have some problems. But start paying attention at that point. Your number one thing you should do is any place in Medellin, Cali, wherever in Colombia, let's just say anywhere that you're outside of the country. If you're using Uber, driver, any taxi, do not leave that place until that taxi shows up. Every time that my taxis arrive, they send me a message saying I arrived, and we have to go to this back and forth. Where are you? Where? I'm coming down. Oh, I see you. I'm gonna go beeline it to my car. And so don't leave out the door. You shouldn't be standing on the streets. There's a spot, near right up the street from Sweet George's in Poblado. It's a little park area, outside dining and bar area, people hanging around. They can do that. I'm not gonna do that. If I'm walking, I got people with me that are Colombian or people that I trust, but I'm not going to be standing outside because that's how things happen. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we are in another country. We can't control these people. We don't have the legal system to protect us like the United States. In fact, I'll go even one further. The police really probably are not, it's 9 times out of 10 they're not going to help you in any case where you get robbed or hurt. It's just not, they're not built like that. So you have to play your own offense, right? You don't play defense. You play defense after someone has played offense. You play offense to beat the defense. So that's what we do. You play offense, you get everything in a row, you make sure everything's good, even to the point where if you're with other people and they get upset or I want to go home, I don't care. My concern is you having a good time safely and returning back home alive. That's all I care about. And so I think there's a lot of people that are not understanding that Colombia can consume you with a lot of fun. There's a lot of great things to do in Medellin. There's a lot of fun things to do. There's a lot of nice people to meet. But for every nice person you meet, there's one that has alternative motives for you and your belongings and possibly your life. So you just got to play offense and be smart. The Uber comes, then you go. You don't say, oh, he's almost here and I'm going to go. Wait, no, we don't do that in Colombia. I don't do that. And I've been there for a while. I've been traveling for a while there. I don't do that. So I suggest that you guys not wait till that Uber shows up.
That's a good one. Now, I left this one up. Thanks for the $4.99 super chat, Drew G. BLB, I'm assuming. Thoughts on the average age of victims? Younger guys seem to be avoiding the issues. The message doesn't seem to be getting to older guys. What do you think?
Can you repeat that, brother?
It says, thoughts on the average age of the victim. Younger guys seem to be avoiding the issues. The message doesn't seem to be getting to the older guys.
It's starting to seem like it's the older guys that start to have these problems, but I got tons of messages from people that got robbed and got scoped. The younger guys are just not, they don't talk about it. It happened. Matter of fact, there was a video that they did, the Scopamine Queen. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Those were young guys. So it happens to everybody. Don't think because you're young you can't get got, because they got, but they ain't talking about it because it's an embarrassing thing. They're like, listen, I survived, I made it, and now I know how to move different next time, and they don't talk about it.
You'd be surprised how many people told me how many people told me that they've been drugged more than once.
It's insane.
And they still go back.
That's insane. That's insane.
I hear this stuff all the times, and there's a lot of stuff I don't put out here, obviously, and people don't want their stories out there. When I did the live last week, I asked Carlton and out here with King and Hammer, what are your thoughts on how many people report it versus don't report it? Because I brought Tony on and he gets joked at, but he came on. I say that it's like 5% just from me communicating and the stories that I get through the back door. I think it's 5% that admit it and 95% that don't. They think like 15%, I think is what they said, 15 or 20%. What do you think the odds on the percentage of the people who actually tell people, especially in a forum like this, who's actually going to put their face on it Even if they don't put their face on it, they put their voice on the story. Because I got another story I need to read too. I won't do it tonight, but there are different ways to scam and all different type of things. And there's some situations they may not be proud of, or they may be embarrassed because they did get got. I mean, again, we all got. I saw a video earlier, just a side note before you answer, of a guy doing this, getting scammed with fake GoPro cameras. I got got when I lived there with that camera. I have that camera over here somewhere still. I kept it, and I got. I mean, just that easy. Anybody can get got. But what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think, look, if I get robbed, anybody else who gets robbed in Scopamine, the first thing I want to do is get on a plane and go home. When you get on a plane and go home, to try to cut your losses, because you don't know who's going to come back to that Airbnb. So people get on the plane and go home. You can't file a report from the States about something that happened in Colombia. So there's a low percentage of guys that will report it. There is also a lack of confidence in the police for reporting these crimes. People don't feel confident that the police are gonna figure out who did it and what, and it's a lot of work. The police got a lot of the police that are actually working, and I don't mean no disrespect to them, but the Colombians know what it is. The police that are actually working, they got to go and retrieve surveillance from the building. Oh, there's no surveillance. We got to find surveillance from the other building. We got to contact the owners. You get this runaround as police. Who's the girl? What's her name? By the time you give police information, her name is not that. So I just thought about something. On those dating apps, with guys that's using those dating apps, the women that about 85% of the women that I've encountered use a different name because they feel like I don't want my business on the internet. Those are the women that I've encountered that were normal women. The women that you encounter that are out for no good, that's not their name. Plus, Colombians got like 6 names: Maria, Jose, Josefina. What's her name? Have you seen that ID? I've done videos where if you're in a building that has security, anybody that comes into that building must be identified. Their information must be jotted down. It takes nothing for the money, and I'm going to be careful what I'm going to say. Some guys are there for fun that costs them some monetary value. And so for the money that you're using for that fun, what does it cost you to pay your doorman? Hey, thank you. Just anything happens, bro, here you go. Just make sure you take everybody's ID. I don't care who, ID them every time. Nobody should leave out of here with nothing that they didn't come with. I always either give them, when I order a Rappi, I order my guys in the door. Hey, you hungry? Yeah. What do you want to drink? Coca-Cola? Okay, no problem. Or when I'm leaving and I know I'm going to return back to that actual Airbnb complex, everything in my house, liquor, whatever it is, here, that's for you. Oh man, thank you. I've got so many people's numbers in my phone that are security because I take care of them, because I know that if something happens, they're going to take care of me. And you see them every day. So I think that's a point. Take a little bit of change. Hey man, just make sure you ID everybody that comes in here, man. And that's it. If you're not gonna listen to us and be cautious of who you bring to your residence, then at least pay your security or give them a little something so they can be a little bit extra vigilant. His shift changes. Hey, the gringo over there, make sure he's good, man. Make sure he IDs them. It takes nothing. It's all about you doing everything in your power to remain safe. And unfortunately, it has to be this way. But if you want to continue to travel to these places, you're gonna have to do it, or you face the consequences.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's going to have some change, by the way. You can't spend it. It's so small in denomination. Who goes out and tries to piece? You can barely count let alone, Bente, those you can do this is Ocho, you can do that. But when it comes to the small pieces of 50, when you leave, you will have a whole bunch of money. I used to just, whenever I would come and go, I'd save up that because it's going to be a lot and it's heavy. It's real heavy in your pocket. You can't carry it in your pocket. So put it in a bag and I just go around and hand it out and give it out to people. But like BLB said, why not give it to your guard? Especially if you're going to come back to that place too, or give it to him every few days, or just randomly give it to him. People will appreciate that. Let me, before I ask my next question, let me jump through some of these. So just join the live. I wonder how many of the comments have traveled, and I don't mean going to a resort. Okay. Tell us another passport we can get that's fast and easy. I don't know. I just got mine, brother, and I'm happy. It's 4 days and I'm out. Is the government of Colombia, Medellin, taking the scope situation seriously? I don't think so. I thought it was a big deal that the U.S. government, because that took some work. And I know personally, we at this channel have been trying to get that done for over a year, to get them to announce specifically that, not just warning because of kidnappings and druggings. No, you need to tell people about scopolamine. You need to mention the word, and they finally did it. So the embassy is just a parrot, from what I believe, is a parrot of the Department of State. So it took some getting some work to get that done. So I, even though you may think it's not a big deal, I think it's a big deal. Or some thought it wasn't a big deal. Guys like Spanish-speaking countries, but don't like to go to Spain. I got scoped in Costa Rica. There you go. I'm telling you, Costa Rica seems like the new jump-off spot. And I'm telling you from what, and anybody who has my email address to want to see the stories that I have they span over the past 5 years, including the murder that happened in my Airbnb. When I saw it, I was like, holy crap. I saw that floor, I knew it, and I saw that view, and I knew, what are the odds? So now I know I meant to follow up on it. Like, how long were you unconscious? Okay. Maybe he'll answer. I don't sleep when I'm in Airbnbs. Shoot, I sleep. Wait till you see where I'm going in Guatemala. I sleep comfortably. I'm picky about where I stay, though. It takes me a long time to pick an Airbnb, and that's why I wanted to show you. I don't just go in and go, oh, that looks nice. No, I got to read reviews. And ultimately, I'm going to end up with 3 or 4, and then I'm going to pick from those 3 or 4. No, then I text them. I email them or text through the app and say, I need a clean, safe, pet-free place to. And I go through this process all the time, wait for them to send me an invite. And then I pick where I want to go. And I only use, what are they called? The host. Why can't I think of it right now? Superhost. I only use Superhost. So when you sort, and I'm going to do this in a video too. So I only sort by Superhost. And so these are people who have like 4.8 stars and above. And these places are nice. And that's where I'm going. I'm actually sharing.
To your point about the Superhost and the scopamine and does Colombia take it seriously? What I've seen coming back to Medellin, because I haven't been to Medellin for a long time, it's too much stuff's happening. But a lot of the Superhosts are not allowing guests anymore because of that. They just look, we can't do this no more. So if they're not registered when you check in, that you're hit. You're gonna have to go to a hotel or something, because we don't want these problems. They face problems. They face a lot of problems. They got to go and get your stuff out. Look, they got to go get your stuff out if you die. They got to take that apartment off listing for a while until the police finish their investigation. So it's a lot of problems that they face. And so these people don't want that. And then the stigma of somebody died in this bed. So I'm not written that. I don't want to sleep in a bed where somebody died. I don't know about you guys. I don't want that. So the hosts are starting to crack down a little bit on your guests, which I think is a good thing. It's a little aggravating to the weekend warrior people that want to come in and do what they do. But for me, I'm not into that type of lifestyle. So I'm fine with it. The people who need to see me, whenever I go to Colombia, there's one guy, and Rob, you know who he is. There's one guy who's always on my list. He's a Colombian. He's always on my list. He can come up whenever he wants, stay as long as he wants. He can do whatever he wants. He's fine. But as far as all these other people, in and outers, no, we're not doing that in my house.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And a lot of these Airbnbs too, I read a lot of the stories that don't make it to the my news, but a lot of Airbnbs are getting ripped off. There's people renting the rooms and then stealing everything, including the blenders, stealing everything out of it. I mean, they're taking trips in and out, emptying the Airbnb out. So they're very particular. Where I stayed last time when I lived there, the guards were friendly. They were my guys. Okay. You know, I'd sit downstairs and just practice my Spanish. Okay. ¿Puedes practicar mi español con usted? And practice my Spanish with him. The one time I did have a guest, it was we had broken up at the time, but my girlfriend at the time, she came down to visit for a week. And man, you'd have thought I was, we need her passport. Okay. Calmate. He was like, oh no, we don't do that here. And a couple of viewers know where I was staying too, because they stayed in the same building too. But and near Aguacatala, love that area too. But yeah, you want them to be proactive. You want them to be concerned. Not only they're not just concerned about you, they are, I would assume, but they're concerned about their place. And like you said, how soon can they put it back on the listings too? Let me get through behind.
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say some of these Airbnb owners buy products from the United States for their houses. You know how much how much taxes they pay on that import stuff, and for them to get all their stuff ripped off in the house, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tony Hernandez says brown liquor burn. What's shaking, good fella? Make sure you get over to his channel, BLB, Brown Liquor Burn. Go check his channel out. You want this information all the time? Check it out. I would advise people, don't just listen to me. Watch other YouTubers too. I mean, every YouTube channel is different. I mean, there's some, like I said, I'll look at a video and go, damn, 40,000 views. How long has this been up? Shit, 2 years? No. 2 days? What? Well, you know what kind of YouTube video that is. And I think the people who watch those videos don't watch my channel, don't watch your channel, don't watch Raise Raise. They watch that, they get hyped up, and then they just in that world where they want to live in that fantasy where their dollar is longer and they can do all they need to do. But my question, I'm going to get through some of these in a second too, but my question, next question to you is, what do you think of those who come down and even before they get there, they are dating on Tinder or some other app?
Leave Tinder alone. Tinder is that app that I'm trying to look for the word to say without saying Tinder is the app if you want to find something quick, per se. And Tinder's the app where a lot of these setup artists operate. So I would say leave Tinder alone. The good part about get into the country, go to the malls, go to the restaurants, meet people out. Here is a point of reference. I know she works here. How long have you worked here? 5 years. Are you the manager? No, I'm supervisor. Okay. You know that she's not going to up and quit that job just to rob you. So start with somebody that has a job. I did a couple videos called Red Flags, and this is Costa Rica, Honduras, Dominican Republic, everywhere. If you're trying to meet a significant lady for yourself or man, and they don't have a job, that's a red flag for me. I'm not going to be supplementing you, nor am I going to open myself up to me getting robbed. She doesn't have to be a scopamine queen. I could invite her to my house and she doesn't have a job, and I'll be missing a few articles. That's even worse. So I need you to have a job if you're going to deal with me, because I know what I bring to the table in the States or in another country. So that's one of the things that you got to look for, somebody with a job, and look for somebody that has look for somebody with a good outgoing personality. Maybe that person that you go out in the streets and seek is not into all the things. Like I met females that are into raves and all of that, and they're in relationships with a friend of mine's from England. He's from Congo, but he grew up in England. He's been with her for probably 5 years now, 3 or 4 years now. Great relationship. She has a job. She has a business. He has a job. He has a business, and it works. Mostly all of the successful relationships that you see in Colombia with expats and Colombians, they have something. They both brought something. They found them in a place. I found her at her job or at this restaurant. So leave the apps alone and meet somebody organically. You'll be surprised. They're very, very nice. They'll talk to you. It's not like if you say, "Hey, how you doing? What's your name?" that they're gonna do what they do in other places and make you look silly. But they're gonna talk to you. And if they're interested, they're interested. If they're not, the good part about Colombia is there's millions of other women that you can find and talk to.
That's anywhere. That, again, I'm in sales. I get rejected for a living, so I'm always okay. I'm good because I don't care. You can turn me down. I don't take it personal. I think that's a problem. A lot of guys take it personal and feel some kind of way about it. What do you think about guys who drink in excess in public?
Well, my name is Brown like a Baron, so my cup is always here. I don't let it too far away from my hands. Um, I don't let anybody make me any drinks. You got to be able to be in your faculties. If you're drinking for belligerency or getting wasted to have a good time, you're not going to be on your P's and Q's. And that's not what I do. I get a nice bottle of something that costs a little bit of money and I enjoy it. That's the difference. And if you're drinking in excess, you're opening yourself up to a lot. People see that. This is not Montreal. Like we used, I'm from Massachusetts, so we used to do our high school trips to Montreal, go up there, act a fool, get belligerent, fall out in the street, look crazy. You can't do that in some of these places because people are watching. Be in your faculty. Now, if you want to get belligerent, if you want to get drunk like that, here is what I suggest. Colombia has armed services with armed guards. You want to live free and die, like they say in New Hampshire, then have an armed guard with you. The cartels. Let's quickly about the cartels. The kids of the cartels. I've seen them out in Medellin. They've been in Parqueyeres. Their whole section is fenced off, and there's guards around them and their friends. If you don't believe me, ask somebody that you see me with on my videos, and they'll tell you those nights that we seen kids come in, or young teenagers or 21-year-olds with their armed guards. That's how you know even the cartel members don't feel comfortable letting their kids roam around. They have armed guards with them. So if you want to act like that and you want to get drunk and have the best time of your life in Colombia, pay a couple of armed guards.
And I've offered that service before. And I asked what a lot of guys thought. And when I put up the amount of the money, everybody got a little quiet.
Is your life not worth it?
Hey, especially if you want to go out and party and you want to feel free. I mean, you're never going to be fully free because they can't get you out of this country still, but they do. They will protect you. And there's been many of what they call them freighters on the back of these bikes where, what do they call the guard? They call something else in Spanish, but they hop. What do they call? Damn, they hop off. Shoot, I can't think of the term. But they will hop off and kill the person that tried to rob you. And it's not a problem. And they get off. They just walk away. Because chances are they may be a cop anyway, either an ex-cop. Yeah, because the guys that I wanted to put forward, that's just it. Because there's another thing. There's another challenge because you know who I told you who I had walking with me. You know him.
Yep.
But he speaks Spanish. Also, if you get these guards, there's two levels too. You want to get the guys that are relatively fairly priced, still cost a bit, but they don't speak English. So you can't even communicate with them. Or do you want to go ahead and hire somebody that speaks English? And again, if I'm going to have somebody walk with me like that, if I'm paying a guard, he should be armed at that point. So you pay him more because he's armed and he's speaking on your behalf. And so these people have all been vetted. I'm going to roll this back out again because I'm working with a company there that knows all the people, but she's busy. I'm busy, man. It's been crazy recently. But if you guys are watching this right now and you are interested in having somebody walk with you, shoot me an email, dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. Don't send it to any other email. I won't see it. dcboyandrobgroup@gmail.com. And I need to know. I just need that feedback. If you want to pop it in here real quick at the end, I'm going to jump down to the end. If anybody has interest to utilizing some sort of armed guard, let me know right now. I'm going to wait till you pop something up here too. And one thing I wanted to put out there that I got from Rob too, Rob from Sweet Georgia, that if you know when you going out with this girl, if you know you can't find her the next day, she knows you can't find her the next day. Okay. So keep that always in mind. Keep that in mind. If you can't find her, like BLB said, go after somebody's got a job. I mean, if you really want to meet a girl there, like I said, I told somebody go to, in one of my videos, I said, go to the grocery store, go to the Jumbo, the Corulla, the Carrillo, go to the grocery store that you live, that neighborhood. They will get used to seeing you all the time as you walk, got to buy groceries, go buy groceries and start talking to the girls and stocking the shelf. For some reason, I mean, they must not be getting paid a lot because every aisle got 2 or 3 girls on it. I don't know how it's like, man, you ever seen the Exito? Exito got like 5,000 people working there. It's like on every aisle, somebody stocking and turning the cans. So they are there, but you need to speak some Spanish. Go practice again. Puedes practicar español con usted.
Those girls that work into those stores, if you say, hey, I want to take you out to eat to a nice restaurant, they love that. They probably won't have if you take them to a nice restaurant that costs for 2 people 200, 300 million pesos, they probably couldn't afford to do that themselves. So they would like to go. These women like to go out and have a good time. So you guys can find them. Just gotta stay out of the apps and go find them outside.
Exactly. Don't leave with that though. You keep that in your pocket.
Of course not.
Keep that in your pocket. But yeah, start talking to them. Because the funny part is somebody asked me, what do you mean? They texted me and said, or emailed me, what do you mean? I go, what grocery store is this? Well, I can go meet them. I said, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, just first of all, you got to leave the house here in the States. You know, I ain't never had a girl knock on my door. Hey, you been looking for me? Never had it happen. No, I always got to leave. So number one, you got to hit the streets. You got to go out. You got to, whether it's a bar, a club with friends, you got to leave the house. There it's more sociable. So it's more friends. Get introduced by somebody else. Be friendly with the guys too, because the guys know the girls. So get you a Colombian friend. Because there's some nice people. When you live in a neighborhood, you will get to know the people at the corner store. You will know the guy that hangs out at the corner store all the time. Befriend them, and they will watch your back once you become friends with them. I mean, that takes time, though. We're talking about over a period of time, not just go out and start trusting anybody, because really, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust anybody till I do. It takes a long time to earn my trust. But remember, if you know you can't find her the next day, she knows you can't find her the next day. That leads me to my next question for you. Guys are doing pay for play, and they come stumbling out of Gusto's, and after they done heard the price, then they come stumbling down the stairs, and you know what's waiting at the bottom of the stairs or the escalator, elevator. They're waiting there for you because they couldn't get in the club. And then by then, one comment I keep hearing, man, she ain't even that good looking. Because you've had a few drinks, you came stumbling out, and she was waiting on you, and she poppy, and she knows what she's doing. But what do you think about that business? And because I don't care if it's legal, everybody, it's accepted there. Let's get past that. But what do you think of that versus there's places to go? Fase dos, Blue Door. There's places you can go that you don't have to deal with that are protected. Your safety and well-being. They want repeat customers. They don't want to kill the customers. So what do you think about one versus the other? Let's put it that way.
I don't like to advertise this stuff, but I'll give you. I've acquired some information. Medellin specifically has. It's probably even hard to count of places that people can go for fun. Let's say that, and they're safe places. They're houses that run to a certain amount of time, and You go in, you have a good time, and you come out. There are also the gentlemen's clubs actually function a little differently than the United States, where the gentlemen's clubs are full throttle, I would say. You can do anything you want, anything you need in those places. Um, Also, if you decide to take, I'm going to use some words, so please stay with me, guys. If you decide to take the rental home, the book rental from the library home, you can do that from these places safer. These people are, they're documented in these places. They know who you are. There's ways to do it. You don't have to land and then go roaming around certain areas to look for someone that you have no way to tie back to. Uh, uh, yeah. Police officer. She was just right there. I met her right at the corner. Did you? You know? No, there is no. She has no physical address to the restaurant that you met this person in front of. So if that's what you're gonna do, then make sure you come to a reputable place and there's enough of them. If you don't know, then hit me up and I can call somebody else that'll get that information. You know what's funny though? None of these problems happen to females. What is the common denominator to the female travelers that travel, the female expats that travel, the black, white, Hispanic females that travel and stay in these places? The common denominator of everything is some strangers that you don't know into your place of residence. These females are not doing that, and they're safe. I don't. Have you ever heard of female being scopamine from the United States in
From the
Medellin or
United
anywhere else?
States,
I've never heard of it.
locals, yeah, but from the United States, no, I have not. And I think I would hear that even through back channels, and I have not heard that.
So find a place, find someone that knows. Message me. I don't mind. I'd rather you guys be safe than anything. Message me, message anybody that I know, and I'll get you the information of the things that you need, or I'll get you in contact with somebody that can get you the things that you need.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And guys, again, on the note of you're not at home, you're not in your neighborhood. Just keep in mind, not just the girls, but you don't know who the guys are. And like BLB said, it may be a 19-year-old, with a funny haircut, 125 pounds, and your natural instinct is he's not a threat. You don't know who anybody is. There are some people who are just who they are. They are connected. Like I said, when I moved there, I heard gunshots my first 2 weeks. Didn't bother me. One time down the block from Sweet Georgia in Loud Ellis. The other time, I was on my way there. And I'll never forget the look on the guy. It was a guy on a scooter. I think he kicked the truck, but he kicked the wrong person's truck. And the truck chased him, and I saw the guys in the truck. Young kids, but determined. And the look on that guy's face when he looked over his shoulder was sheer terror. If I ever saw terror, face to face, that was it. And then as my Uber went around for the next 7-8 blocks, there were wrecked cars everywhere. They wanted old boy, and they didn't give a damn about their truck. You don't know who anybody is. I would say that, and not only that, but let me lead into this because I've been saying this for a while, and I got this from Rob firsthand, Rob Lester. And I knew this already, but the way he puts it is cool. As soon as a girl says, "Can my friend come? Can my cousin come with us?" And I think there's a trigger in a guy's head because we all possibly at some point, we all had that thought, that dream, that fantasy. But when they say, and how many interviews have I done with people that got scoped? And that's the first one that I did with the Irish guy in Cartagena. And he said, all I remember is her saying, "Can my friend come over?" That was it. So as soon as they say, "Can my friend come over?" run, physically run, leave. Why are you still there? Why are you still there? What are your thoughts on pairs and can my friend come?
Well, there's a lot of guys that travel that love that scenario, but in Colombia, no. I'm meeting you. Um, I'm not meeting your family, your friend. I'm meeting you. And if we are already in advanced stages of conversating and you're coming to my place with certain intentions, then why does someone have to come? Now, on the flip side, if we going out to dinner and she says, I don't feel comfortable because there are a lot of things that happen to Latin women in Latin American countries. Noted one country, Honduras, where they were kidnapping women, and Ecuador, where they do that. So there's a safety issue. If we're going to dinner, she says, I don't feel too comfortable. I don't know if you still want to. Can I bring somebody with me? I mean, if you really want to meet this girl and she's something that you really taking seriously, she has a job and all that, then I wouldn't mind bringing somebody else. I wouldn't mind her bringing somebody else. But best believe I'm gonna have somebody else there, either behind me or next to me or at the table with me. But she can bring somebody else. Just pay attention when you start having drinks. Don't allow anybody to make drinks for you. Don't allow they like in Colombia they like to take a shot. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I can do it myself. Um,
Cheers.
pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on. You get up to leave. Somebody actually this happened to me in where was I? I was in Pereira. Somebody poured a drink for me. I walked away to the bar to pay some, and I was at a table with friends. This girl I didn't know poured a drink for me. I took the drink, toasted everybody, poured it out. I don't like when people pour my drink. I just don't. It's just me. I got a new cup, the whole nine. I can't do that. So just if somebody's going to come along to your residence, I would say no, cancel that. But if someone's going to come out to dinner with you, then I would arrive to the place first and say, okay, meet me here so that I can watch them coming in and see what type of, people watch, see what type of vibe they on. And if at any point I felt uncomfortable and it wasn't looking good or they were they look kind of janky to me, then the dinner's over. You can walk away from dinner. It's okay. Hey, thank you. I'll pay the bill. You guys, your food's coming. I paid the bill. I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm going to read a story shortly, not tonight, but there is a way, and I've heard this on multiple occasions, to get something in a sealed can. There is a way to get something in where you will actually see the beer being cracked open. Don't know how they do it. Are you aware of that?
I haven't heard of that, but I've always had a suspicion that if a girl suggests a place to you, that maybe bartenders or something's in on it too, which I don't trust. The good part about me is I don't drink none of that stuff. I don't drink the aguardientes and when I buy a bottle, the bottle comes, I select the bottle comes, I open the bottle, and I see it. I don't drink beer cans. I don't drink beer. I don't drink mixed drinks. So that's my way of my little security safety.
Yeah, you know what bottle I drink? The one I got at duty free on the way down. I bring it with me. I'll go over and go, Rob, can I leave my bottle here, man? And I'll leave whatever's left. You can keep the bottle. But
Yep.
that's back when I drank. I'm hardly even drink right now. So you'll find that the less you drink, the more aware you are, the more you see stuff that you didn't notice because you had a few drinks.
Yeah.
Now, I had 3 beers a week ago and man, woke up just wrong the next morning. And now I care too much about my health, but I still drink. I'm not going to say I don't drink, and I'm not going to say don't drink. Hell, I'm going out after we done tonight and get me an espresso martini. Facts. But I may just do one and nurse it or 2 over a period of 2 hours or something and chill out with my buddy as a bartender. Shout out to Lynn if you watch this too. But yeah, so anything else you want? I'm not going to keep you all night. You spitting some facts for these brothers. I knew you had the information to share, so I wanted to bring you on. And thanks for reaching out too. You have some information for these people that these guys need to hear, and not just hear from me because I'll get, well, you don't live there anymore. What do you know? I mean, I just know what I know from 5.5 years of doing this and the fact that you guys tell me this stuff. So about 20% of the information and stories that I get do I actually put out. And I'm careful about it too. And if it's not in a newspaper, I'm not going to put it out. Their news, it's their news that I'm translating. And and I try to get multiple stories. Sometimes it's only one. If it's something that's important, they're not going to fake that somebody was killed. And I'll put that out. But it's best to have more than one story because some may say something that's not in the other story. But those are the stories that I'm putting out. But anything else you want to pass on? What do you think these guys need to know before they go down? I mean, like, what are your top 3 things to be concerned with? We know the basics. Don't wear jewelry. Even though I don't know how many times we got to say that. You and I are both going to go to the airport tomorrow, and there'll be somebody with jewelry on. I mean, I wear jewelry, but I'm not there. And again, I go through the cheap watch. I've gone through every travel product. If you just type in DC Born Rob travel products, I got all this stuff. Again, 900 something videos. So I got videos on this stuff, but you got to go back and look at them. I'm redoing some for a lot of new people, but what are your like top 3 things or anything you want to share before we jump off of here? What do they need to know?
The Colombians, when you're dealing with a Colombian woman, they always frequently ask where you're staying. Don't give your information. I get into arguments with people. They want to know, okay, what area? Okay, what street? Why do you want to know? I just want to know just to see. No, we don't need that. Don't share your information. Arrive before the other person arrives if you're going to a restaurant, just so you can see how they arrive. Usually people will go, okay, I'm on my way and I'll pay your, no, arrive there first. When you get there, sit down, have a drink or have some appetizers, and then, send her over. At this climate, I think that's better. Learn some Spanish. That's probably number one. Learn some Spanish if you're in these Spanish speaking countries, or learn some basic phrases and terms of the country that you're traveling to. And please, for God's sake, try to make friends that could potentially save your life down the line. Please. It ain't just about the women, guys. It's not just about women. There's Colombians that reach out to me, and Rob, you probably heard this, where they're sick and tired of the Americans coming for certain things. Go out and take a tour. Your tour guide that will take you to Guatapé, to take you to Pablo's daughter's house, to take you to all these places, that guy will give you valuable information. So you meeting people, you're putting money into the ecosystem there, the economy there. Just meet people, and that will go a long way. I promise you, that will go a long way. That person probably knows an Airbnb that you didn't know about for the cheap, or that person probably says, hey, that guy who you're dealing with, and this has happened to me. Hey, that guy that I seen you when I picked you up, that guy's no good. Oh, he's no good. Why? Oh, because this guy, he robs people. Or this guy, one guy, he plants drugs on people when the police. I've heard a lot of things. So get to know somebody that has a job. Is men included, that has a job, right? I got a friend right now. He's in Medellin. He just moved there, and he frustrates me because he meets these people that leech off of him. I don't want nobody leeching off of me, because they're always looking at what you got, and one day you're not gonna have those things. So meet somebody of substance. The same way you go to the mall, you can talk to the cell phone guy. You gotta get a chip for your phone. Talk to the cell phone guy at the counter. Hey man, where's the places to go? Hey, all right. Well, if you guys are free, you guys going out? I do that. You guys going out? Hey, I'll come with you. Where are we going? I know, you know what I mean? Meet people, do things, but always keep your third eye on everybody. The good, the bad, the ugly. Keep your third eye on everybody. And that's just how it has to be right now in Medellin. That's just how it has to be. Cali, I frequent Cali a lot. There is no tourism in Cali. Cali is very, very dangerous, right? I'm gonna be closing I'm working to get an apartment now. Cali is very, very dangerous. The things that these guys do in Medellin, there would be more deaths in Cali if they did that in Cali. Cali, they don't play. That's why people don't travel there. So just do your diligence. Do your diligence. Just know somebody, learn a little Spanish, and dress accordingly. Dress like they dress. Dress like they dress.
Heard that before, guys? Let me jump through a few of these before we get out of here. Show give example. Any one of the blowing nonsense one. I'm in Colombia now. On Tinder. I just talked to a girl and her sister's coming over.
Crazy.
You can't make this up.
And I bet you, see on Tinder and these apps allow you to get verified, right? You get a blue check. I bet you she doesn't even have a blue check. That always raises my suspicion.
I don't even know about a blue. I don't know about Tinder.
It's just you take a second to do a gesture like this, so the camera captures and it sends it back to Tinder to verify that you're the real person in that app. And so some people ain't doing that.
They're not responsible. They've already said they're not going to be responsible for anybody you meet. You can't blame them if something.
No, but that's a good starting point. If she has a blue check, okay, well, she's real. She's real.
Okay. Scope even happens in New York. Guy can ask for directions. It can happen to him. The truth is men are risking their lives for women. That's crazy. You know, one thing I meant to mention earlier is because when that does happen, 9 times out of 10 of the stories that I hear, they leave the passport. My thoughts are they want you to go. They want you to go. They don't want you to report it. They just want you to go because they always ask you this question. And this one, when you were going over questions, would never tell them, where you live, but never tell them when you're leaving. Never tell anybody when you're leaving. I don't tell anybody when I'm coming. I just show up. Nobody, Rob. Nobody knows when I just show up. Yep. The barber may see me first. Not buying it, but whatever. There's so many social group activities that you can get involved in down in Colombia, from salsa, bachata, dance classes. There you go. Dance free. Calle Diaz Sur. Get over there. You will meet people. Practice your Spanish any chance you get. And practice your dancing because these girls want to dance too. If you're going to go out, you're going to go to Sonavana or wherever, girls are going to want to dance. Peace. Adric, I poi. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for that super chat, brother. Let me jump back up. Don't speak about the cartel. I don't even like saying that word. Locals, I know my lane when it comes to the news too, because there's stuff that goes on that I read every day that I don't. Yeah, ain't got nothing to do with me. Armed guards, hood boogers, or busters. Okay. TJ, everybody got an opinion now, and that's okay. Lots of fear mongering on this channel. Any good news? See what I mean? DC Rob, what's the cost of armed security? I got it all written down. Now, actually, I got some screenshots of it saved. I need to revisit that because I was supposed to talk to her on Monday and I didn't. I'm overwhelmed, man. I don't even want to say how much stuff I got going on because it sounds like I'm complaining at some point. I got so lucky drinking so much. Oh, what do you think of this? I got to ask you this. What do you think about all the guys that say, I've been going for years, 5, 6, 7 times. Ain't never happened to me.
Hey, we've been walking outside for years and people still get struck by lightning. It happens. It can happen anywhere, anytime.
Same thing. I ain't never had an accident before. But where are most accidents? On your street, because that's where you come in and out the most. So, everybody that has fallen victim has probably said before that, I've been doing this. I got it down. It never happened. But there's some things. I'm telling you, it's like a prisoner. Prisoners, they're going to find a way out. If you give them enough time, they know how to pass notes. They know how to work the system because you've given them time. And remember, Colombia was locked, was closed for 2 full years. They totally shut it down. I was down there during COVID. It was crazy. You wasn't supposed to be out in the street. It was nuts. So when they opened back up, first it was a good thing because now they're starting to get money back in. And then it became a wait a minute. Now we can take some money. I saw people going through the trash, man. I'll never forget looking out my building near the university, off of 70. I'll never forget seeing that every day. All day, I would see different people look through the same bag of trash. It was crazy. That's crazy, crazy. So remember, they were shut down. They were closed. They were locked up. And we discussed this on the phone the other day. I mean, I'm going to feed my kid. I'm that type of guy. I'm going to feed my kid. Yeah, if I got to do something, if I got to, I'm not trying to rob you. I may rob, well, I won't even say what I'll do. But I'm telling you, I'm going to feed my kids. I don't have kids, though. So I think they blow the same drug pot on victims' faces, but huge quantity. I don't know how that works. What are crazy to me is that we're talking about Americans leaving the States to go to a country where they need armed guards. Is crazy. I wonder how some people end up on my channel, especially the ones that say I'm negative. How were you even here? Because there's 1,000 other things on YouTube right now. That's a good idea, bodyguard. Okay, I'm gonna research that a little bit more. And again, the traveler's insurance is coming. Actually, he's been working on it, man. He's got an app where you can choose, and it's simple too, with your age, what state you're coming from, where you live, how many days you're going to be, where you're going to go. And it came up to my trip, came up to like $86 for the next week. There's certain ones too. We're working on that part that'll pay everything up front, because that's what you need. That's what I need versus getting reimbursed for it. But as simple as you guys, I'm telling you, I got some good viewers, man. I ask for certain things and for assistance with certain things. And just like Caribbean Shipper, people step up, man. And so that information is coming forward. So I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much for the kind words and the comment, man. I need that, especially because I need good. Because after that 8th or 9th good, I'm gonna get I suck or whatever they go. That's it's par for the course. BLB. Let's see. I started with couch surfing and MDE. First host gave me her keys so I could go in and out whenever. Some people there are some good people. True that. There's good people everywhere, but there are some good people. I mean, when I first moved in, I would ask just to find the ATM. First, I had to learn how to say cajero automático. I'm going to ATM or ATM. And they come on, And they walk me to the ATM. Literally walk me to the ATM. They will go out of their way. They will miss their bus to help you out. So there are good people there. Remember that. I still love Medellin. And again, I'm still going to go. But I'm like those girls you're talking about. Why don't they befall those issues? Because they're not out there at 2 o'clock in the morning. They're not even going to be out salsa unless they with their crew of their clique, and they've already got their little community. And get by Sweet Georgia Cafe again. If you go there and he's not there, nobody's there, and you walk in and there's absolutely nobody there, so what? Grab something to eat, get a drink, sit there. Somebody will come and go. But when they come and go and they sit at the bar, you got to talk to them. What's up, man? Where you from? Where you from? Good opener for anybody. You can't be shy. This is your community. That guy may save your life. That guy may give you knowledge to save your life too. And I'm telling you, they will drop some knowledge on you, man. Every time I go, I learn something new. How I do it? How do I do it this way? I met some good guys there, man. Some good guys there. And it's not all about black brothers. It could be black, white, Asian, anybody there. I see guards near ATM machines when cash is added. Man, those cops are everywhere. And that's why I say, if you got to go to the ATM, I know you don't go to ATM. You brought this up the other day. I go to the ATM, but I go in the mall where there is a guard. And I got to be walking around the mall for a little while and grab me something to eat before I even think about leaving. I'm not going to use that ATM on Calle Diaz, okay? There's 4 or 5 ATMs on Calle Diaz. And if you are at an ATM on Calle Diaz and the main entrance to get into the park, you know what I'm talking about, next to the pharmacy. If you are going to that one and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I got to wonder, bro, why am I doing this? You should not be. You should not be going to the ATM. And I even have a video of a girl going to the ATM. I did that little parody, how to get drugged and robbed. And I'm like, do go to the ATM at 2 o'clock in the morning with a girl. She's sitting there looking at you, using, watching you type the PIN code in because you done had a few drinks. Remember, you're not the same after 1, let alone after 10. Price for private security is 20 USD per hour. Not sure who this guy has, but hey, if he's got somebody, vet him too. Get references. Like I said, you know how long it takes me to get an Airbnb? I've been looking all week because I knew I was going to go. I got 3 days out of 7 booked. 3 days out of 7. I looked at the same ones over and over and over again. I'm reading reviews. I'm watching how they put things in code, because we don't want to totally dog. When we stay there, we rate them and they rate us. They normally go, Robert was a good guest. He kept my house like, whatever. But I, type in, this is what happened. And, it's up on a hill. Didn't bother me, but, you need to be aware. So that lets the next person know there's a hill. You don't like climbing hills, or there's a pothole. There's a hole outside the door, but I didn't mind holes. I like jumping over holes. We word it so that we have that good review. All my
Rob,
reviews good.
I changed Airbnb. So that 4 that you pick, I stay a week and then I'll go to another one. I switch Airbnbs just because I don't want somebody drop me off or a taxi. I just switch Airbnbs. I'm paranoid, man. That's just me. So if I just keep switching them up, and all of them have armed guards. So that's how I do it.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Airbnbs. Now the prices have gone up, and I know they get mad at gringos, but they should be getting mad at the locals, because the locals are the ones that own the Airbnbs that raise the prices on us. By the way, and go back and look at type in DC1 Rob and Airbnb. I have like 3 or 4 videos on that. Bargain with these people. It may say, if you're going to be there for 12 days and it's $500, but if you go in and choose 2 weeks, it's $450. You get discount because you're staying for 2 weeks. You don't have to stay those last 3 days. Bargain with the people. Every time I go to Medellin and I stay in one, I ask them, I'm just going to be there for this amount of time. Can you keep this under $400? What's the worst? I mean, again, I'm in sales. It costs you nothing to ask. All they can do is say no. So ask, and ye shall receive. You don't ask, you don't get. Remember that. You wonder why you ain't out dating, because you ain't asking enough of them. And you may ask that one and she say no, and you go, now you don't want to ask no more. That's not how it works. You ask 10 and you get 1. Now 10 is your number. You want to date 10 times, you got to ask 100. So it's just as easy as asking. Find what you want and asking. Keep Costa Rica out of the videos. That's old news. I know Costa Rica way better than that. That news story you included is old news. I got a lot of news stories from Costa Rica. I've looked at those over the past couple of days, but thank you for your input. They get gotten a different way. You don't have to drug women to rob them. One thing I do think, and let me end with this too, and let's have some new comments down here. Shoot, what was I going to say? Damn, I forgot my train of thought now, because some of these are throwing me off. Why do y'all want to go to Colombia despite? I don't get how some people end up on my channel. If you don't like Colombia and you don't like Medellin and you don't want to stay safe and it's fake news, I don't get it. For $750 a day, USD, I can get 2 ex-commandos. We charge them $20 USD an hour, and nothing will happen. Nothing ever happens in 5 years in Medellin. Read that again. Okay, this cat right here is selling something. Okay, let me see. They don't need to wait anymore. It's good. Let me get through a couple more of these. And let me just ask right up so I can just jump to the end right now. If anybody has any questions for BLB before we get out of here, ask them now.
Yeah, you guys can hit me up on my Instagram, which is the same thing, Brown Liquor Baron on Instagram. So I answer everything that's sent to me.
Shout out to Captain Cisco. Thank you, brother. Is Costa Rica safer? I'm not there right now. I haven't been in a few years. And I mean, it depends on everywhere you go. Like people say, you've been to El Salvador. Is that dangerous? I mean, where I go is not dangerous. I've been to Honduras. Where I go is not dangerous. All over Mexico. I'm not going in the hood. We got hoods here in my own city. I don't go in them. I live in a nice area. I stay in this nice area, or I go from one nice area to another nice area, or, downtown where I still feel safe is my city. But like I tell people, we got a part of town called the jungle. Well, what the hell am I going over there? The hell am I going to jungle for? Yes, Costa Rica is much safer and locals a lot more friendly. There you go. So if somebody is there, I'm going to do a story on it because, like I said, I've had so many, like 20 stories sent to me. And again, it spans over the last 5 years up until a couple of days ago. So this and if you are there and you tell me that the sicarios are not doing hits, then I will say I've seen stories that represent other. After you get the name and number, the Instagram, double check the name. The name, many times a different Instagram will most likely be the real name. Yeah, I know guys want to look up on social media to back stuff up. I negotiated with an owner with a cheaper deal. Airbnb offered that my booking ended. There you go. If the girl doesn't have any social media, she's not. She is going to rob you. Well, she got a different social media. How many social medias can you have? Just think about it. You can have a bunch of Instagrams. TJ may take fake. Well, there you go. They may have a fake social media profile too for that. True that. Don't jump into strangers' taxis. And always, if you are at Parquilleras and you need a taxi, don't walk straight out on that street and get one of those taxis. You know, wait till a taxi drops somebody off and then hop in that one. Do it a block down. Do it by Parque Poblado. Walk the 4 blocks down. Don't take it from up front. My suggestions. And always make sure if you have to take a cab, which I don't, I'm an Uber type person. If you have to take a cab, make sure the meter works before you get in. Don't just get in. What up, Rob? Thanks, BLB. I'll be back in late January, back in Laureles. You know I love Medellin. Yeah. Well, you got a girl there too. So guys with the girls got their regular, life is good. They know how to move. And that girl will protect them, looks out for him. So he's good. Luis is down there right now rolling around too. Costa Rica is definitely much safer. Yeah, if we talk in comparison, I mean, but I guess as long as you stay away from the major stuff, then you safe. MDE, yes, take a taxi by La Provenza. Okay. Well, let's wrap it up here. I appreciate your time, man. Jumping on. We both just got off work. People don't see that part. We work all day. We flip the script an hour later, which took how much time to set it up and get it ready. So much appreciate you taking your Thanksgiving Eve too. And I'll be tomorrow. I already know what I got to do in the morning. I got to do another video. And I want to read this story that this guy sent to me too, because there's a new way that they can scam you. So I anytime I get those stories, we communicate back and forth. I get the full story. Then I want to put it out so that the viewer knows that what's going on or what could possibly happen. It's all about being aware, man. That's what I think it is. You want to leave the audience with anything, BLB?
Yeah, I just want to say, so I'm in my car because my son had a football game tonight that I didn't know about. But I felt that I'm sitting here, they finished. He's already taken the bus. I got to go get him. But this was that important. You understand what I'm saying? It was that important for me to try to at least save somebody. If it's somebody that we save or give a little bit more knowledge to, that means a lot to me, because it hurts me. Even if I don't know these people that get killed, or it hurts because it could happen to anybody. Mm-hmm. A guy that I'm sitting next to at a bar at Sweet George's, he passed away. Remember Nick? I know Nick. Nick's from Boston. I'm from Boston.
Yep.
So it hurts, right? Some people have this thing with them that they don't care. I care. I want you guys to go and have a great time. I want you guys to enjoy things and go back to your family. I want you guys to go to work. If you're working or if you're whatever you're doing, if you go to work and say, man, I had an amazing time. This is what I did, but I had to listen to this first. It's great, but it's personal. That's why I took this time and I watched some of the game from the car, because I wanted to tell you guys, be safer. Do everything that you possibly can to be safe. And if you need any information from me, hit me up. Like I said, my Instagram is Brown Liquor Baron on Instagram. My WhatsApp number, I give it to everybody. My WhatsApp number is 321-318-9879. anytime you feel like you need a question answered or you need some connections made, I'll do it for you. And it's just love because I want y'all to be safe.
Bet. Much appreciated. And for those who think we don't care, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We know, and we have your best interest at heart. We want you to go. I know I want you to go and have a good time.
Yes.
Have those stories and come back and say, man, because I know what that countdown is like. If you watch it when I had to come back, I did my last few videos. I was like 3 more days. 3 more days. I had the clock ticking the whole day. 2 more days. Oh, so I know the countdown. I know if you're headed down what the countdown is like, man, you're excited, just like I am 2 days from Guatemala. And now you are 2 days possibly from going back to Medellin or Barranquilla or Cali or wherever else. I know that feeling for that countdown. But we want you to go, have a good time, be safe, come back and have a story to tell, and then be ready to go back. Just not go down there and have any, because it is troubling, man. When I look at the news every day, and when I see those stories, or you guys pass the stories to me, again, Luis is quicker than I am, and he can put this stuff up in the group. But man, it's like, oh my God. And like that last one, the stabbing and Poblado, that was like, what the hell is going on? And then 3 out of 4 was a birthday that passed. I'm like, what's going on? And so it's been quiet for the past week and a half, and let's keep it that way. Let's keep prayers, and remember to send good vibes and prayers to those families that have lost loved ones. It could just as easily be somebody that you know. So let's make sure we keep them in mind at all times, because this is why I do it. And I do it just for that one. If we can help one person, then I'm blessed. I'm good with that. But if it helps the masses and more, and I'm sure BLB will say the same thing, then it's all gravy at that point. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Guys, can I say something on your half real quick? I don't know DC Rob. I've never met him in person. But with our conversations that we had, this man does a lot of work on his own time. On his own time for helping other people that he's never met. And so I think you guys in the comments should have a little bit more respect. Now, on my channel, if you tried that, you're going to get cussed out. DC Rob's channel is a little bit more classy than mine. So give this man respect. He's doing it on his own time. Time away from his family. Time away from his girl. Time away from his work to do this work, to contact government departments to try to help people that things happen to. Give that man a little bit more respect. Who raised you people?
It's people never see, because they only see me in front of the camera. They don't know all the other work that goes into it. But I am blessed. Remember, I have Luis that helps me, our group moderator and friend and interpreter and everything else. And I also have my researcher, with whom I could not have done how many different FOIA requests. I never got to read the FOIA requests. The funny thing is, to hear what the embassy says about me, about my channel, to hear them comment. That's the one thing out of, I don't know, 23 pages that I chuckled on about. Yeah, this DC boy and Rob guy. Like, okay, so now I know the embassy is watching my videos. So, I mean, not that I've said anything wrong about him or anything, but I thought that was funny. But, it is what it is. There's a lot of other work that goes into this other than what you see, other than the editing. But it's for the love of what I do, and the fact that it's the positive feedback that I get in the comment section. I don't even see the negative stuff anymore. I mean, it is what it is. Dogs got to bark, babies got to cry, haters going to hate. Simple as that. I mean, everybody do what they supposed to do. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing because of the positive comments that said, man, you have saved me this many times. Last week, man, I've been going down and I know I slipped. I know I slipped a few times and I came back okay. So I'm going to start being more aware. That's why I do it. That's why I do this. That's why I do it. So I'm glad you on the team doing the same thing. Much appreciation, man. You got to bring me on your show one day too.
Most definitely.
Let's do this again, man. Next panel I have expats, man. I'm trying to get as many expats as I can on so that you guys can pass it from that point of view. So much appreciated, man. Really, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. You guys, good night, everybody.
Sorry you missed that game, man, because I know how that is. Okay. All right, man. Have a good one. We're going to cut out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.